Something that will...
You're so easy.
Something that will provoke a response.
What, dear?
Something that will provoke a response.
All right, all right, sis. Hang on.
Man.
Something that is provocative and will... Oh, yes. Here we go.
Now, which book is this?
This is Don't Sing at the Table. My nonfiction, a profile of each grandmother. Then I arc it into the guts of, this is what took 3 years. Then I arc it into how they knew each other. Then I take you through to what they believed. There's a chapter about each thing, everything from child rearing to sex and marriage to belief. And then to their deaths and how that all played off. Oh, I'm going to read something to get you people screaming at each other, and it will be my pleasure. All right, here we go. Ready? Now, this is a chapter about my grandmother Viola started working when she was 14. And there's a picture of her. When I look at that picture, I have it on my desk of her at 14. I go, oh my God. By 16, she was a forelady in a garment factory in Pennsylvania. By 38, she and my grandfather founded their own factory named after her. Her nickname was Viola, and I chronicle in here. Her teacher didn't understand. She said Yola because she spoke Italian in her school. And she thought she said Viola. So Viola stuck as her nickname. A lot of people never knew her name was Yolanda. But when it came time, there's a picture in here to put the name on the door. It wasn't named after my grandfather. It was named after her, the Yolanda Manufacturing Company. Even though my grandmother rose from operator to owner, her own family and my grandfather's family was populated with union operators who put in 30 years and upward on the machines, providing income for their families. Some of the women were widowed. Others provided a second income to their husbands' paychecks. The women I knew growing up worked outside the home and were proud to do so year after year. It gave them a sense of accomplishment and sustenance. I never knew anything but working mothers and was well aware that my mother had a career before she had 7 children. It seemed that everyone worked and that work made life better. It wasn't just about the paycheck, though that was important. A job well done led to a sense of accomplishment and enduring purpose to feed the family's bottom line. Child care for working families was a constant part of the discussion and a priority for my grandmother. Viola would take 3 years off when my father was born. 6 years later, she took 2 years off when her twins were born, and only 6 months when her 4th baby was born, and this was the summer before they opened the Yolanda Manufacturing Company. Years later, when she wrote down her story, Viola remembered these dates clearly. They had been negotiated and discussed within her family. Viola used all avenues of child care available to her. Family members, my grandfather's cousin Zizi Mary and others, neighbors, and even nuns. In 1988, after a slew of office jobs and second jobs to provide additional income, I got my first job writing for television comedies. I saw Viola's factory model in effect in an entirely different venue. A television network, through the support of advertisers, provided programming, hiring writers, directors, producers, actors, stagehands, designers, their crews, down to craft services, the folks who make a wagon of snacks for the actors and crew as they rehearse to make television shows. Beyond these hires, once the show was made, the ripple effect of jobs extended to the graphic designers, distributors, and local affiliates who were employed and lived off the central idea that we are making shows here to entertain and enlighten, but also to advertise products that the audience will buy as a result of viewing the show. Thousands of families lived off the creation and distribution of our shows. Soon enough, by the mid-1990s, with cheaper programming, sound familiar? On the boards with a restless public clamoring for real-life antics instead of scripted shows, the model sank, and with it quality programming that had been the backbone of network and cable television for years. Some might argue that we deserved to fail. We got too big, or maybe the quality wavered in many instances. However, we do ourselves no favors. when we destroy the ability to provide goods and services to a buyer by overpricing ourselves or undercutting our product with watered-down versions of what we create. And yes, some survive the seismic changes that come with destroying one model in order to create a new, but more often than not, we don't. It is true that we wind up with less product, less shows, and less artisans employed in the long run. We certainly don't survive stronger with more jobs to offer. We all lose. When the jobs are gone, we have learned the hard way, they are gone. If Viola were young today, she would invent her own new business model and manufacture goods her way with a small workforce, providing a niche product to the American consumer. I know it would involve clothing, and that whatever she built would be of excellent quality. There's something wrong when you can buy a new pair of wool pants more cheaply than it costs to dry clean them. No wonder we buy so much clothing. It isn't built to last because we don't expect it to. My sisters and I still wear Viola's coats, and imagine they are over 75 years old. It's called vintage now. I marvel at the seams, the pocket inserts, the pocket insets, the collars, the lining, the cuffs, the covered buttons, the magnificence of an everyday garment built American.
Wow.
I'm so peevish.